Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I've done any videos. It's been like probably about a month now, but I've had to deal with holiday stress, other personal stress in my life, and just some personal stuff that's going on, and I would always kind of despondent by the end of the day, and not feeling. I just wanted to wait till I was in a more like positive mood to do these videos, but I don't know if or when the time's coming. So I figured, now is as good a time as any to start doing reviews again, especially since the shows are coming back and since Agents of Shield are coming back, has come back. I want to do at least start off the new reviews with a condensed review of episodes 7 through 9 of season 4 of Agents of Shield. So basically, the episode is when after Eli Morrow sends off that explosion in the power plant, basically Fitz, Robbie, and Coulson are sent to an alternate dimension, the same plane where Lucy Bauer and company were from, except they're not able to interact with our normal plane of existence. They can't be seen or heard. But during this time, because of being dragged off to hell, Ghost Rider separates himself from Robbie and attaches himself to Mac because of his inner darkness, and goes after some like gangbangers in Chinatown, L.A. They also find out about Eli Morrow's ability to manipulate matter, specifically he gets carbon out of nothing, and also they found out about Mace being blackmailed by Senator Nadir and how Simmons was forced to be dragged off site to help somebody inhuman out of their cocoon. She never got their identity because she was being dragged off. She didn't know where the guy was even located because it was on his like sealed off site. They put a bag over her head just so they wouldn't know where she was being taken, and Fitz ends up leading to Fitz lashing out at Coulson for stepping down because he's naturally worried about his own girlfriend's well-being. May, suspecting that the guys are still alive, reluctantly breaks Coulson's promise and decides to use the Darkhold. Recklessing is like it's too overwhelming for a human mind, so they have Ada read it, and she's able to create like a gateway. It's like it has like similar effects to what was used in Doctor Strange, and they're able to help them help them both escape. But while they're still on the plane of existence, Robbie's still able to interact with a Ghost Rider possessed Mac and convinced his alter ego, listen, I'll settle your scores as long as I'll make you a new deal. I'll resettle your scores if you recombine with me. If the Ghost Rider recombines with Robbie, he does. He eventually gets back to our normal plane of existence, and they decide to go after Eli Morrow as part of a deal. It's like, you help me settle the score with my uncle, I'll settle, and then he'll settle all the Ghost Rider scores. And apparently he's creating some kind of device where if it gets unstable, it creates a nuclear explosion. And Coulson tries to talk down to reason with Eli. Eli saying that he's not creating matter, he's borrowing it from other planes of existence. And Eli Morrow goes on some motive rant when he keeps impaling Ghost Rider with these like carbon spikes to keep Robbie from morphing into Ghost Rider. And it goes on about how she used the Darkhold because he always felt like, I guess presumably because of his race, that everybody thought that he was incompetent or he was only getting by cheating and whatnot. But it's also creating like an earthquake that would cause what he's doing is creating an earthquake that would cause his device to become unstable. I don't remember the science behind it, but it basically, but the earthquake would have caused that nuclear explosion. So Daisy's trying to use her powers to contain it, but until Ada is able to open up a gateway that sends Eli and Ghost Rider to that other plane of existence they were trapped in 407, and but the potential energy um sends Daisy like propelling, almost like flying like several stories like above the LA skyline, to the point where the reporters see that she's involved in the earthquakes and what's going on, and so they start questioning her. The press and director Mays comes out saying that basically all Daisy's actions were part of a sting operation that was sanctioned by Shield, and Daisy agrees to go. He convinces Daisy to go along with it and come back to be an agent in order to basically exonerate her, which she takes the deal and mentions how she misses Coulson. They miss the father-daughter dynamic, and how when Coulson wanted Inhuman to be the face of Shield, they make this kind of little Easter egg nod saying it's like where Daisy says, "Yeah, maybe in the comic book version," and you find out like during the events of I think 408 when May was supposed to be watching over Aida and while Agent Nathanson. It turns out that Aida had become sentient, and there was a stinger at the end of 407 where she was like constructing a hologram of a brain. So I guess there was like more LMDs, and she kept the real May held captive and sedated. And 409 was just basically about how well, it turns out also at the end of 408 that an LMD said she had an LMD May replace the real one to, I guess, to spy just for some kind of plan. And they have this like funny thing where it's like it's a little heavy-handed in 409, but they have Yo-Yo and Max just keep referencing the fact about how the scenario is played. Every scenario where you create a robot with sentience, they always rise up and take over. And it turns out that she's trying to get Ada is trying to get access to the Darkhold, and Fitz and Radcliffe are speculating that her exposure to it may have made her become not only sentient but feel human emotions, and why she's it corrupted her programming, and eventually after regaining control of the base when she was trying to kill everybody out of self-preservation, Mac decapitates her with a shotgun axe, and you find out that Dr. Radcliffe was actually orchestrated the events of what was going on at the base, and he actually wanted the Darkhold for himself to basically help humanity, and I guess other dubious purposes. And there's also a side story when Senator Nadir has her brother was the one in the cocoon, and you find out throughout the episode that he gains super speed similar to Yo-Yo, and and even though they have like an uneasy alliance, Mace, Daisy, and Simmons go to try to rescue him and tell them that they want to help him and that she can't trust her sister, but he ends up trusting her sister and feeling when she tells them that Shield is going to use them as a weapon, she goes with him, and apparently she thinks that her motive is that she's pissed about the Chitauri invasion because their mother died during the attack, and feels like doesn't care or doesn't know that the Chitauri and the Inhumans are completely unrelated things. It just feels like it's the next step of the Chitauri's like rising up and taking over or something. And so they're traveling on a helicopter, and Senator Nadir actually shoots her brother at point blank range and dumps the body into the ocean, but the ocean is still riddled with all of the Terrigenesis crystals from the end of the season 2 finale, and so the brother ends up surviving by undergoing another Terrigenesis. So I know in the comic books that usually some there when some humans go undergo a second teragenesis, it enhances their powers. So it'd be cool to see I guess because it feels like they kind of been watching The Flash, and they definitely knew it's like, well, if they can have a bunch of speedsters on their show, why can't we? So it'll be interesting to see more, I guess, speedsters um, on this show that I guess without like the lightning effect, which would be pretty interesting. And I'm sorry, it's like so condensed right now, but it's like I said, I know I'm behind on videos and it's late right now and I gotta get to bed, and but I will do a review of 410, The Patriot, and then finish up my videos for the Invasion 4-part crossover on the CW, the mid-season finales from Flash, Arrow, and Legends, and hopefully I'll be caught up for the the shows when they come back next week. So what have you guys been thinking of the whole? Do you guys like the Ghost Rider storyline? Do you miss the Ghost Rider storyline? How do you think the LMB storyline is going to measure up? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys soon. Take care, and you guys have take care, and you guys have a good night. You guys have a good night.